South Africa is pushing a narrative that we all need to debunk. When I say we all, everyone who believes in justice. It stems from the fact that the rest of Africa have come to realize that the government of South Africa currently is doing nothing. It is using its failures as a ground to allow certain people in South Africa to misbehave and be xenophobic. Yes, there's no way where you will see the South African government supporting some of these things directly. But the government's inaction, seeing these things happen, is a clear confirmation that the government supports what these people are doing, driving other African migrants from their land. And based on what South Africans has done, not all of them, a certain portion of the South African community has done to drive a lot of migrants out of South Africa, they are beginning to receive a backlash around Africa. Most African countries are also flexing their muscles similarly, just like South Africans did to some African migrants. And this is becoming troubling from the South African government, and especially some sections of the media have begun to wage an interesting war. An interesting war because I will explain why that war is interesting, against Ghana, but that will not wash. I just saw a news item about a South African journalist who did a piece about Ghana's decision not to renew the license of Goldfields Ghana, because Goldfields Ghana is a South African company, and that decision is a bad decision, and that the Ghanaian government has given the license or given the mine that Goldfields used to own to his brother. First of all, the mine has not been given to the president's brother. As we speak now, Goldfields still owns the mine up until 2027 when their mining lease expires. So it's never true that the mine has been given to the brother of the president. So that narrative is absolutely false. The second thing is that, yes, there is some truth in the fact that one portion of the mine, not the same mine, Goldfields used to have two mine leases. One was at a place called Damine, and the other one is in Takwa. And it is the Damine mine that has been given to the president's brother. And it wasn't given to the president's brother. Now, here is the story. The Goldfields Damine mine is a mine that Goldfields has been operating for a very long time. And over the years, they subletted the mining contract, as in everything concerning the mining, the physical mining, was given to the current president's brother, and he had been mining for Goldfields as a contractor for over 20 years. So Goldfields has no equipment. They are always only managing the administrative aspects of the company. And the president's brother, Ibrahim Mahama, has been the one with all the equipment, with all the machines, and has been mining for Goldfields for over 20 years. So it got to a point where Goldfields realized that they couldn't keep both mines, the Takwa mine and the Damai mine, and it came up for lease. And because the president's brother has been working with them, now remember, he became a partner of Goldfields for so many years, long before his brother became the vice president, eventually became the president, lost power, and came back again. So he has been in the mining business for a very, very long time. That is one fact we need to put on record. That mining lease that Goldfields wasn't going to continue to use came up for option, and the president's brother applied for it when his brother wasn't the president. The previous government, who is actually in opposition to his brother's government, agreed with him in principle to give that Damai mine to Ibrahim Mahama, who happens to be the brother of the current president. So let's put that on record. It is not like his brother became the president and they found a way to take the mine away from him and give it to his brother. He had worked with Goldfields for over 20 years, and he has been working in the mine. Goldfields did not have one single equipment that belonged to them. Every equipment in that mine belonged to the president's brother, who had worked with them for over 20 years. So he was mining for Goldfields. Goldfields was only handling the administration part of it, and Ibrahim Mahama was handling the technical part of the mining. So if GoFull decided that we are not going to use that mine again and that we are giving it up, then automatically that mine then reverts back to the country. The country cannot just let the mine lie fallow. And who probably will be the best person to handle the mine than somebody who has already been mining in that mine for over 20 years. So he bid and he won the bid and was given the mine. The second thing I want to talk about is the current mine at Tarkwa, which GoFull is still mining from. And remember, GoFull is still using the president brother to mine in this current mine that has come for discussion. He is still the contractor working on that mine. It's not like GoFull has left and is looking for another person to come and take over the contract that has been given to Ibrahim Mahamad's company, which actually is called Engineers and Planners. So the mine is still being handled on contractual basis by Ibrahim Mahamad, by Engineers and Planners. The Tarkwa mine is not a mine that has been given outrightly to GoFull. GoFull signs a lease, with the Ghanaian government 30 years ago to mine there, and that lease expires in 2027, somewhere in April 2027. And as with every lease, when it expires, you have to renew it. It's just like living in somebody's house. If the rent expires, it depends on the owner of the house whether to renew the rent or decide not to renew it. It means that you have to look for another place and go. And I find it difficult to understand why people in South Africa won't worry when people are calling. Remember, this renewal is not something that has already happened. The renewal is supposed to be done by the Ghanaian government, but it hasn't been done yet. Remember, it is not done. The mining lease they have, that is GoFull has not ended yet. It will end in 2027. GoFull is trying best as it can to renew it for another 20 years or 25 years, which people in Ghana are resisting. Remember, it's not the government who is resisting it. Ghanaians, a majority of Ghanaians from both of the political divides are resisting it. That for 30 years, GoFull has been mining in Tarkwa, and yet we haven't seen any development in Tarkwa. The volumes of gold that has been taken out of Tarkwa and exported to South Africa runs into millions of tons. And yet nothing has happened in Tarkwa that people can point and say GoFull helped us their corporate responsibility to do this for the Tarkwa community or to do that for the Tarkwa community. And so if you live in a community where you've benefited so much from the community and yet people haven't seen any tangible change in their lives out of corporate social responsibility, then of course the community, not alone, and the whole country, because gold, our laws gives all our gold, all our mineral resources to the government to control. So it's not only the people of Tarkwa where the mining is being done that benefit from the gold that GoFull is mining. It belongs to the whole of Ghana. And this is what most Ghanaians are saying. We haven't seen anything that has been done by GoFull for the community, for Ghanaians, for which reason we should renew the license. So the license renewal is still pending. It hasn't come to an end yet. Yes, the chief executive officer of GoFull have tried to use the community where the mining is going on to influence government, to force government's hand to renew the contract. But that has been resisted by civil society in Ghana here. And civil society and a lot of Ghanaians believe that the mine will be better served to Ghanaians if they take away the mining lease from GoFull and give it to a Ghanaian. The reason is that then the resources coming or the proceeds coming from that mine will come to Ghana, will benefit Ghana, and will help Ghana develop our country better than giving it to somebody to come and wholly mine everything and take the proceeds away when it is not benefiting the people. I'm asking you South Africans, will you do that? If in the past certain people allowed this thing to happen, now you talk about your government allowing illegal migrants to flood South Africa, and you are up in arms against your government with overflowing effects affecting some even legal migrants, whatever people want to call it, Africophobic, xenophobic or whatever. You have risen up in arms against your government, demonstrating against your government, because you think migrants who are in South Africa has taken up your jobs and taken your women. I'm surprised you are not saying they are taking your men too. But this is the narrative being spinned out there, that Ghana is not ready to renew the mining lease and is giving the mining lease or giving the mine to the president brother. That is wholly false, totally false. So stop that narrative. It is not the right thing to do. If you are beginning to feel the strong revulsion from other Africans because of the way you treated them, and you realizing that after the migrants that you forcibly asked to leave have left and it's affecting your economy, stop this narrative that you are trying to spin, that Ghana is spearheading a hate. Ghana is spearheading some hate against South Africa and is trying to influence the rest of the African continent against you. Look, Africa saw what you did, and Africa sees what you people are still doing. You people, not all of you, but some of you people are doing, and your government is quiet. The rhetoric about we are working on it is nothing to talk about. We are yet to see who killed the Ghanaian fashion designer whose body actually came to Ghana a few days ago. In fact, yesterday, the 17th of July. We are yet to find out whether that person, the people that shot that Ghanaian fashion designer, has been arrested. You have no answers. And your Minister of Foreign Affairs, young as he is, always want to spew inaccurate lies. The lies are inaccurate as well. So stop that kind of spin that you want to spin. The mine belongs to Ghanaians. Ghanaians says enough is enough. You've used the mine to develop South Africa. Now we will take up we revert to ourselves. We take the mine and mine ourselves. The mine belongs to Ghanaians. It belongs to the indigenes of Ghana. So if you think migrants are with you there, and for that reason you want migrants to leave South Africa, why do you want to continue to benefit from what our migrants who are coming to benefit, taking over the mine, asking for a renewal of the lease? I wouldn't do that. And I don't believe the Ghanaian government will renew that license, because if the Ghanaian government makes a mistake to renew that license, we will be up in arms against the government. We will also demonstrate to tell the government that we don't need Ghana to give that mining lease or renew that mining lease to go for Ghana. But having said that, there are so many South African companies still operating in Ghana. Most of the Apple imports we have comes from South Africa. We haven't stopped South Africa from exporting apple to Ghana. It doesn't mean that Ghana cannot plant apples. Yes, we can plant our own apples. We previously thought we couldn't plant our own apples, but study and some trials have proven that certain parts of Ghana can produce apples. So we can produce our own apples. So we can say, South Africa, don't bring your apples to Ghana any longer. We'll produce our own apples and eat our own apples. But we haven't done that. Your apples keep coming. We have a lot of tomatoes in Ghana, but South Africa exports tomatoes to Ghana. South Africa has some very big supermarkets, some fashion chains and other businesses, and some South Africans own hotels here. We haven't asked them to leave. Because Ghanaians are smarter, are civil. We don't just pick up arms and tell other Africans leave our country because we are not happy with you. So that spin that you started churning out, that Ghana is is making sure that the mining lease to go for Ghana is not going to be renewed because the president brother is involved with the whole deal. It's a lie, and we won't accept that. The land that the mining is ongoing on is our mine, and we decide whether we want to give it to somebody or we mine it ourselves. And then you talk about Ghana trying to be the powerhouse of, what word did she use? Ghana is trying to be the economic powerhouse of Africa. Who wouldn't want that? I'm asking you, who wouldn't want to be the economic powerhouse of Africa? Yes, if we have the ability to be the economic powerhouse of Africa. We have to. And there is nobody who aspires to achieve that someone can sit down and say, you are wrong to aspire to be the economic powerhouse of Africa. South Africa became an economic powerhouse in Africa because of the help they got, not only from their mines, but from the other investment that they made in other African countries, including investment they made in Ghana. That's how South Africa became an economic powerhouse. And why should I give my natural resources to another country to develop his country and be prosperous when they are mining from my country and using that money to push their economic prosperity? I will cancel it and take that money because that money belongs to me and my people. So that narrative you are trying to churn, stop it. It won't help you. It won't help anyone. And nobody in this world is going to believe you when you say Ghana is trying to churn hatred against South Africa on the African continent. Everyone on the African continent saw or have seen and continue to see what your people are doing to other African migrants. And that is unacceptable. Yes, some might be illegal migrants, but people just don't jump ship. It's something that pushes them. There are illegal migrants, and many of them in Ghana. There are illegal migrants still in South Africa. There are some in the US, there are some in the UK. Everywhere in the world, you'll find illegal migrants, but something pushes them. Instead of threatening and beating them and sucking them out of the country, we can find a very nice way to accommodate them or to let them leave the country and do the right documentation and come back, rather than violently evicting them. If anyone does that, you are not human. That is an inhumane treatment to the extent that some can be killed and the government is not able to find one person to arrest. And yet the leaders of these xenophobic attacks are walking free in South Africa. The government sees them every day. And you expect other nations to be quiet? There is no way Ghana is going to be quiet and other nations in Africa are going to be quiet. They all saw what you did, and it is not Ghana who is trying to push a hate narrative against South Africa. It is your people and the silence of your government against those people that is making other African countries very wise and making decisions that will also help their country. So keep your narrative coming. We are also here, we watch, but Goldfields is going to lose that license renewal. We are not giving our mind to Goldfields Ghana again. There is gold in South Africa. Goldfields can go and get some of the land in South Africa and mine from there. We keep our gold and we only give it to anyone who will come and sign a better agreement that the mines will be mined well and the proceeds will help develop Ghana economically, socially, and be responsible miners. That is the only thing Ghana will now push forward for. We've sat down and given our resources to people for many years and haven't benefited from it in any way. And that stops now. Our people must also benefit from the proceeds of the natural resources that God gave us. And that is what we are going to push our government to do. So keep the narrative coming. We are here to debunk it. And we will debunk it as forcefully as we can.